beauteous forms, through a long absence, have not been to me as is a landscape to a blind man's eye, but oft, in lonely rooms and mid the din of towns and cities, I have owed to them, in hours of weariness, sensations sweet, felt in the blood and felt along the heart, and passing even into my purer mind with tranquil restoration. Feelings, too, of unremembered pleasure, such perhaps as have no slight or trivial influence on that best portion of a good man's life, his little nameless, unremembered acts of kindness and of love. Nor less, I trust, to them I may have owed another gift, of aspect more sublime, that blessed mood in which the burden of the mystery, in which the heavy and the weary weight of all this unintelligible world is lightened, that serene and blessed mood in which the affections gently lead us on, until the breath of this corporeal frame, and even the motion of our human blood, almost suspended, we are laid asleep in body and become a living soul, while, with an eye made quiet by the power of harmony and the deep power of joy, we see into the life of things. Wordsworth often talks about how nature sustains him, not merely when he's out in the countryside experiencing it, but also when he's back in the world of cities and crowds of people. The opening lines of this second section of the poem are echoed in I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, where he lies on his couch in vacant or in pensive mood, and his heart fills with pleasure at the memory of those blooming daffodils. I much prefer the way he says it here. I get a lot more satisfaction out of his tranquil restoration as he remembers the beauteous forms of nature in lonely rooms and mid the din of towns and cities than I do from the idea of his heart dancing with the daffodils. Maybe that's just me, but I don't think anyone could deny that he explores his feelings, his relationship with nature, far more profoundly here than in the poem on the daffodils. With that comment on the little nameless, unremembered acts of kindness and of love, he makes an explicit connection between the world of nature and human nature. For him, responsiveness to the beauty of nature is a part of what makes a good person good. And he goes further even than that. It's almost like a meditation, drawing us more and more deeply into itself as the poem leads us from uplifting memories and the impulse towards kindness into a serene and blessed mood that puts the body to sleep and animates the soul, and we see into the life of things.